أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا صلى الله عليه وآله عبده ورسوله. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر.
Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. You are watching Friends of God in His Presence. I'm Atal, the host of this program. This series of the program called Friends of God in His Presence is mainly concerned with a commentary on Ziyaratul Jamatul Kabira based on the book written by Ayatollah Javadi Amoli in Persian language, mainly known as the title فنای مقربان. First, before getting into our main discussion for today's episode, we have to listen to a short speech by Ayatollah Javadi Amoli along with the English translation, and then we'll start our discussion.
این زیارت جامعه 5 بار به اهل بیت اسمت و طهارت سلام عرض میکنیم. السلام علیکم یا اهل بیت النبوه، تا به اینجا که عرض شد عناصر الابرار، ارکان البلاد، ساسة العباد و دعائم الاخیار را مانند. قسمت دیگر سلامی است که السلام علی محال معرفت الله. بخش مهم این زیارت جامعه به رهبری اینها برمیگردد. مسئله قیادت، مسئله ساسه بودن در این تعبیرات کم نیست. ساسه یعنی سیاستمداران، سائس یعنی کسی که بتواند خوب یک گروهی را اداره کند. در این زیارت جامعه به اهل بیت علیهم السلام عرض بکنیم شما سیاستمداران امتی و ساسة العباد، شمایید که مردم را از راه صحیح اداره میکنید. هر جا رهبری معصوم شکل گرفت، بیگانه ها ناچار شدن صحنه را رها کنند. الان هر جا سخن از قیام هست در سایه تعلیم انبیای الهی است. همون شما ساسه عبادی، سیاست مداران بندگان خدایی. و وجود مبارک موسی کلیم اولین حرفش با درباریان فرعون این بود ان عدوا الی عباد الله، یعنی من امین خدا یک. جامعه انسانی امانت خداست دو، امانت را باید به امین سپرد. فرمود ما آمدیم که مردم را هدایت کنیم. مسئله آب و خاک هر هدایت انسانی است. اگر یه انسانی احساس استقلال کرد، از میهنش دفاع میکند، از آب و خاک دفاع میکند، از معدن دفاع میکند. وقتی هویت یافت. حرف موسی کلیم این نبود که چرا معادن مردم محروم اسرائیل را به اونها نمیدی. حرف موسی کلیم اولین سخنش این بود ان عدوا الی عباد الله، مردم را به من بده، ادا بکن، یعنی امانت الهی را تأدیه بکن. وقتی امانت الهی تأدیه شد، اونگاه طوری نکشید که پیروان موسی کلیم به رهبری موسی کلیم مقاومت کردن، به فراعنه به طعمه دریا شدن مبتلا شدن که اینها را دریا به کام خود فرو برد. فغشیهم من الیم ما غشیهم. این اساره اون فصل اول به بخش اول که اولین سلام است. اما بخش دوم از اینجا شروع می شود. السلام علی محال معرفت الله. در بعضی از نسخ به جای محال محل است، یعنی جمع نیست، مفرد است. چطور اهل بیت جمعند و این وصفی که برای اونها یاد می شود مفرد است؟ چون در بعضی از تعبیرات آمده است که اینها یک نورند، در اون عالم یک واقعیت و یک نور بودن. چون یک نورند از اونها به عنوان محل تعبیر شده است. و در این نشأه چون اینها زیادن 14 معصوم علیهم السلام و علیهم السلام به محال تعبیر شده است. بر تقدیر هم محل معرفتن، یعنی اگر کسی باید خدا را بشناسد بهترین راه هدایت های خود اینهاست. خود اینها بهترین کسی هستند که خدا را میشناسند و اینها را هم به برکت تعلیمات خدا در قرآن کریم میتوان شناخت که خداوند اینها را خوب معرفی کرد. و جعلناهم ائمة یهدون به امرنا لما صبروا. مزایای انسان کامل را، خصوصیت‌های خلافت و رهبری را در قرآن مشخص کرد. به برکت معرفی‌های قرآن کریم انسان اهل بیت اسمت و طهارت علیهم السلام را بشناسد. هم خدا به وسیله اینها شناخته می شود، هم خدا معرفی اینها را در قرآن به عهده گرفت که اینها با معرفی خدا شناخته می شوند، و هم تنها کسی که خدا را اونطوری که باید بشناسد در حد امکان خود ائمه و معصومین علیهم السلام. اون مقداری که مقدور کسی نیست که خارج از بحث است، اون مقداری که مقدور هست ائمه میشناسند.
Welcome back. What you watched was the short clip by Ayatollah Javadi Amoli along with the English translation. And for today's discussion on this program, I have a very respected guest speaker, Dr. Hujjatul Islam, or it's better to say Shaykh, Dr. Shaykh Yahya Jahangiri, PhD of Islamic Theology, also an Islamic expert from the Islamic House of Qom. Assalamu alaikum, Shaykh, and welcome to the program.
Wa alaikum assalam, assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters watching our program, and thank you for inviting us to be with you.
So this book, I mean, in Persian language by Ayatollah Javadi Amoli, فنای مقربان, is an excuse in order to talk more about the concept of ziyarah text, especially ziyaratul Jamatul Kabira, you know, which is a really fascinating ziyarah by Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam. Before getting to the main content of the book, I would like to ask you to talk a little bit about the very concept of ziyarah and the text of ziyarah itself. What is ziyarah?
Actually, you know, we have many narrations regarding ziyarah, and also not only we have many hadiths talking on the importance and significance of the position of the ziyarah, but also we have many ziyarah narrated by Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam.
That's right.
But the ziyarah of Jama'a Kabira, it has very great position. That's why the great scholar Ayatollah Javadi Amoli focused on interpreting the content of this great ziyarah.
And when we talk about ziyarah, it might has two meanings. One is paying visit to the tomb of an infallible imam or an infallible. The other one would be the very text itself.
Yes.
Now we are talking about the text itself, is
yes.
it? Okay.
Actually, when we say ziyarah,
yes,
we never mean that we are visiting the tomb. Mm-hmm. We are not visiting the building.
Okay.
Actually, we believe that the spirit of the one who is buried there, he is alive.
Okay.
He's listening us. He's watching us.
Yes.
In one of the ziyarah of the Imam al-Rada alayhi salam, we say that, oh Imam, you are listening to my salam, and you are answering my salam, and you are hearing my voices. So it shows that the one we visit him, the one, as Ayatollah Javadi Amoli calls it, mazuru bih, the one we visit him, it is not the building, it is not a tomb. Actually, it is a person, it is the holy, sacred person we are visiting him. So the philosophy of ziyarah means having respect, approaching to a great person, making yourself closer to a person he has a highest position, sacred status, in a way that if you make yourself closer to him, you will receive spirituality.
This is also an etiquette of respect, I think, in order to pay visit, for example, to a tomb of a great person, like the Holy Prophet, his companions, also the.
But there is philosophy beyond the respect.
Okay.
You, by approaching to him or her, you will receive lightening, and you will enlighten your heart. You will receive teaching as well. And not only it is actually the spirituality, talking from a spirituality perspective, you get a spirituality, you get calamity actually, but also when you, for example, visit Imam al-Rada alayhi salam, you will get that how great person was him.
Yes.
And you will get that how you can imitate the way he lived.
Yes.
So it is giving you the teaching how to live in a good way and to have a best lifestyle. That is actually the philosophy of ziyarah.
That's right.
First, the respect to a great person. It is not only the building. Second is that you are getting spirituality in a place which everything is special. The person you are visiting is special. And the third, is that you are getting teachings.
That's right.
It is a kind of a book. It is, let me call it in this way, it is kind of an enlightening movie.
That's all right.
So when you go to a museum, when you read a book, you get something.
That's right.
Your heart would be enlightened.
That's right.
So when you are visiting a great person, you will get teachings.
That's right. Before getting into a place, in order to pay homage or to pay, we can say, a visit or visitation to the tomb of that very person, for sure there should be or there must be some etiquettes in order to be observed by the person who is paying ziyarah, isn't it?
Very true.
I mean, the pure intention, or for example, being in a pure position or situation.
Actually, it is not only the physical etiquettes, but also it is some of them are spiritual etiquettes. You have to observe them.
Okay.
That's why in our narrations it is said that before going to ziyarah, you have to read Iznul Dukhul.
Yes.
Permission. You need
permission in order
to
enter. That's right.
And in this very short permission we recited, there is a very nice saying. It says that this place is surrounded by the angels of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This place is a special place. So, because of that special place, which is very sacred and holy, so you have to observe the etiquettes.
That's right.
One of them is that get the permission. You're not allowed to enter any place. We have to, in Quran, when the Musa alayhi salam wanted to go to the Tur mountain, Allah said that, "Oh Musa, fakhlan alayk."
Yes.
You're not allowed to come here with your shoes.
Yes.
So, regarding to the etiquettes, one of them is that we have to observe that. We have to intend that I want to visit whom? Whom I'm going to visit.
And what is the position of that deceased person?
Very true. So, based on that, I will observe more etiquettes, how to go there. For example, regarding to the ziyarah of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, you know how great etiquettes we have to observe. It shows that that place and also the person we are visiting to is very great person. Let's come to the etiquettes, as you mentioned, to have the pure intention.
Yes.
You're gonna there to get the spirituality. You're not gonna there to receive a title.
You're not going to maybe even I'm hard on this, but you are not going to receive and even pray for even materialistic things. Okay,
very true.
The position is very much higher. The very tomb that you are in is in the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and really a gate in order to get into the spiritual improvement.
That's why some of the greatest scholars and mystics, when they go to the ziyarah, and instead of asking anything from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they say that what I'm here, that is a great wish.
Okay.
That is a great thing. I was looking.
That's right.
So, that is the grace of Allah brought me here. They were because of that. In the beginning of the ziyarah of any imam we visit, there is one saying. It is full of wisdom.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah allazi.
Yes.
Hadana lihada.
That's right.
Thank Allah for guiding me to be here. That is great.
That's a great chance and opportunity to be over there. Thank you very much, Sheikh Yahya Jahangiri. It was very kind of you. We'll take a break, and then I've got so many questions for you. 3 other questions for this episode of the program. It was very kind of you. Thank you very much. Dear viewers, we'll take a break. Come back in a minute.
السلام عليكم يا أهل بيت النبوة وموضع الرسالة ومختلف الملائكة ومهبة الوحي ومعدن الرحمة وخزان العلم ومنتهى الهم.
Welcome back, dear viewers. You are watching Friends of God in His Presence. I'm Atta, the host of this program. This program is about a commentary written on Ziyaratul Jamatul Kabira by Ayatollah Javadi Amoli. With me in the studio is a very respected guest speaker, Sheikh Dr. Yahya Jahangiri. Okay, Sheikh, welcome back again to the program. It's very kind of you to be over here.
Thank you.
Sometimes a very important questions, pops up in the minds of some of our dear viewers and listeners, and that is, how is it possible that you pay visit to a deceased person? I mean, although he is a great man, he was an infallible. At the time of, we can say, living, and when he was alive, so many people referred to him, and he could be the source of benefit and blessings for so many people around him. But what about now? After all these years, he is buried over there, and his physical body might not exist. So why do you refer to the tombs and pay visit and ask through him or her for the graces and blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala?
I think the one who is asking this question, there is something in his mind. There is a pre-assumption in his mind that the only life of a man is restricted to this physical life. But we know that the life is not restricted to our physical body. It is not only the Islamic teaching. Today, the philosophers, the non-Islamic thinkers also, they believe so. That's why in many verses of Quran and also in our traditions, we have, it was actually the seerah of the Muslims. They were asking those who deceased actually to intercede them. For example, it is not only among the Shia. You know, many great Sunni ulamas, they have the buildings. Abu Hanifa, he has a building. And many others, they have the building. This, let me say it, one of the greatest scholars of Islam, Shaheed Muhammad Baqir al-Sadr, he says that,
Allah bless his soul,
he says that this positive approach, just to understand everything based on the imperialistic and sensitive approach, to say that if I don't see, so it never exists.
I mean, you mean the objective experimental experience of the people. That's
very
right.
true. So this approach, it entered to our theological arena. Some of the so-called Muslims, they guess that the one who is passed away, he has nothing. He has no relationship to the world.
Especially in the extremist sense of the word, the people who are following extremism inside the religion of Islam believe that when you are paying visit to an infallible or infallible imam or a saint or a great person, you are considering him beside Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this might be a kind of polytheism. But during the history and the life account of Prophet Muhammad, we could find that when Hamza Sayyid al-Shuhada was martyred, Prophet Muhammad used to go to the grave and used to pay visit.
And it wasn't, Prophet wasn't go there alone. He was, many of companions were accompanying him.
Very good.
Maybe Prophet by his action taught to the companions that it should be your manner of visiting and respecting the greatest scholars.
That's right.
And also, well, we discussed earlier in the first episode of our program that, in first section of our program today, we discussed that it is not only it is not respect. When you go to the Hamza Sayyid al-Shuhada, you will learn that how to be brave like him. Let's come to the question you mentioned. So, if we remove and erase this pre-assumption from our mind, we will understand that Hayat, the life is not restricted to the physical life. Hayat is continuing. That's why we go to ziyarah, we say salam, and we receive salam. Maybe physical body, actually physical life has a limit of connecting with them.
Yes.
There is no limit from their side. Actually, limit is from our side. That's why in Quran says that
the sender and the recipient.
Ayatollah Javadi Amoli, the author of the book, he says that the very life is there.
Yes, that's right.
So, based on that, we have to understand that the one we go there, we visit him, we respect him, maybe he is more alive than us.
I mean, in terms of this spirituality and the spiritual enrichment that we are going to receive, so we have to put ourselves in the circle of the magnetism, which is over there, and all the people doing the ziyarah around the tomb, or we can say the chamber or the room of the grave of a great person. And
may I ask something? Let's not talk from philosophical perspective. I want to give a very simple example. Anyone knows that many of us, our parents, our fathers, brothers, sisters, relatives passed away. They are dead. They are buried.
Yes.
So why do we go? Relationship with them? Yes. But actually we see them in the dream. And sometimes...
Or why do we go to their graves? This is a question.
Yes.
Why do we go to the graves of our relatives, our parents, our children, our mother, father? Why do we go to the cemetery?
We are not going there to visit the corpse. The corpse, by the pass of some years, it would be demolished. We go there to get lessons from there. That's why graveyard is a kind of a school. When we go there, we will be more educated.
There is a sermon in Nahj al-Balagha by Imam Ali alayhi salam talking to the deceased person and giving the companions the news of who are they and what are they doing and how the deceased people are living, And this is a lesson, as you said. Imam Ali alayhi salam, by looking at the graves of the dead people, is giving us lesson. So consider that these...
And that phrase, sorry for interrupting,
yes.
On that phrase, you mentioned very nicely the saying of Imam Ali alayhi salam. Imam Ali alayhi salam says that, let me give you reports of this world.
Of this world,
and
that's right.
It shows that they are listening, they are understanding.
Yes.
And then Imam says that, now we are silent.
That's right.
Let us know, please give us report from the world you are living there. It shows that if we go beyond our physical body, we would be able to listen and to talk. The problem is the pre-assumption.
That's right.
Which we think that the world is only the physical body.
We have to improve ourselves, spiritually speaking, and then we'll get the side effects. And I believe that all these ziyarah texts would not only be useful for your spiritual growth, but for physical and bodily growth. They will be very much useful. It all depends on you. Thank you much, Sheikh. It was very kind of you. Let's take our second break and we'll be back. Dr. Yahya Jahangiri, it was very kind of you. Dear viewers, we'll take a break. I'm back in a minute.
السلام عليكم يا أهل بيت النبوة وموضع الرسالة ومختلف الملائكة ومهبة الوحي ومعدن الرحمة وخزان العلم ومنتهى الهدى.
Welcome back, dear viewers. You are watching Friends of God in His Presence. I'm Atta, the host of this program. This program is based on a book written by Ayatollah Javadi Amoli by the name of فنای مقربان, which is a commentary on Ziyarat al-Jamaat al-Kabira. With me in the studio, we have a very respected guest speaker, Dr. Yahya Jahangiri. Okay, Sheikh, thank you very much again for accepting our invitation to the program. Let's get to some technical terms regarding ziyarah and ziyarah text, ma'sura and non-ma'sura text of ziyarah text. When we are talking about these two terminologies and attributes of the ziyarah text, especially Ziyarat al-Jamaat al-Kabira, what do we mean, and to which category can we belong, Ziyarat al-Jamaat al-Kabira?
Yeah. Let me start from the last. Ziyarah Jama'ah is under the umbrella of the Ziyarah Ma'thura.
Okay.
By Ziyarah Ma'thura, why Ayatollah Javadi Amoli tries to explain this Ziyarah. He knows that how great teaching is beyond the verbal meaning of this great source.
That's right.
Some of our ziyarah, Brother Atta, is only we are reciting from when you go to the a tomb,
Yes.
when you go to visit a person in a mazar or holy shrine.
Yes.
Actually, you are saying something from your heart, or you are, for example, reciting something.
Yes.
That is from your side. Because ziyarah, you're not, as we call it in our teachings, it is not tawqifi. Just read this. You can say something is your heart, because it is the atmosphere of dialogue. You can talk with him.
A personal interaction or dialogue with
Very
this
true.
That's right.
As we mentioned, it is a time of talk.
Yes.
He's listening to you. And also you have to listen what is he's saying. You have to promote yourself. Again, I would like to underline this great point that the ziyarah is a kind of a schooling. When we go there, we have to promote our level of living. If we go to the ziyarah of Imam Raza alayhi salam, next ziyarah of mine to the Imam of Raza alayhi salam should be more developed.
The
If
quality.
in the previous session, I was talking to him, and Imam replied my needs. In this second one, I have to hear his voice. In the first time, just I was talking to him, no receiving.
So I have to improve this connection
Very
between me and
true.
myself. So my second ziyarah and ziyarah, I mean, even reading out the text of the ziyarah might be better than the first one.
So ziyarah is not the repetence of the an
sentences.
action.
Yes.
Actually, it is an schooling and educating. Let's come to the ma'thura.
Yes.
So when sometimes you go to ziyarah and you are talking, expressing what is in your heart by your own words, we call them ziyarah غير ma'thura, but because it is not narrated. Ma'thura means narrated.
Narrated and transmitted by a chain of narrations.
Very true.
Okay.
So because this kind of ziyarah is not narrated and transmitted by the Ahlul Bayt.
Yes.
But some of the ziyarah are narrated, the words, they are narrated by the Ahlul Bayt.
The very words, the very text
words,
of the
yes.
words. Okay.
And they taught us, when you go there, you can talk by your heart. But if you want to talk in a way that to observe the etiquettes of the ziyarah, and to maybe sometimes we go to very high person.
Yes.
We can ask him how to talk with him.
Yes.
But sometimes we don't know, and that man teaches us and produces us a guideline how to go there, how to talk, how to start. And ziyarah Jama'a Kabira is one of the ziyarah ma'sura. Teaches us how to start talking with Imam.
That's right.
Actually, it is not a text of ziyarah. It teaches us the way of ziyarah.
That's all right. The method how to do
Very
ziyarah.
true. Sometimes we think that it is a text teaching us to narrate it. No, it teaches us how to start talking.
That's right.
Please look to the ziyarah, how it starts. In the middle of the talking, how he addressed the Imam.
Yes.
And at the end, how he's asking Imam.
That's right.
To help him. So, ziyarah ma'sura means ziyarah, the very word, the very words are narrated by the Ahlul Bayt.
So when we are talking about this ma'sura and non-ma'sura ziyarah text, we have to talk about the authenticity and the sihha of the, we can say, the very text itself. So as you said, and Ayatollah Javadi Amoli says, the Ziyaratul Jamatul Kabira is among the most authentic, we can say, ziyarah texts of the Shia Muslims by Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam. But the case is that the very words and the diction of the writings of these words in Arabic language have their own meanings, isn't it?
Very true.
Have their own emphasis on the specific attributes of the Imams.
Because they are produced by Imam,
Okay.
the one who is infallible.
Very good.
When we
this is not from the tongue of a Sahaba.
Very true.
This is from the tongue of the holy Imam, so it has importance and significance.
Very true.
Okay.
Look, ziyarah is produced by a person who who is the son of Imam, who is appointed as Imam by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because in our narrations, not in the Shia, but we have in both Shia and Sunni sources that the Imams after me, Imam actually named and called that after me there would be these peoples.
Yes.
One of them was the Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam. The importance of the Ziyarah al-Jama'ah is that it is narrated word by word by Imam al-Masum himself. And he taught to his companions to memorize it and to keep it safe, to be recorded safe to the second generation of the Shia Ummah, to know that what to talk and how to talk with the Imam alayhi salam.
That's right.
The content of the ziyarah, regardless to the chain of the narration, which is very authentic, and the content of the ziyarah teaches us how it has a very high level of teaching. Right. And you know that in the Ilm al-Rijal we discussed that sometimes we say that the process of the chain of the narration, whether it is authentic or not.
Yes.
So it is authentic.
And who is the transmitter?
Also, yes. And the second is that the content.
Yes.
Sometimes it is very authentic, but when we come to the content, it is not. It seems that it is not more actually related, narrated to the Ahlul Bayt. From both sides, it shows that it is very authentic.
Of course, we have to dedicate one separate session, you know, specifically to the very book of Ayatollah Javadi Amoli, and in that, I think, episode we have to talk about, I mean, why Ziyarah Jama al-Kabira has significance and importance in the eyes of so many great scholars from both sides, I mean, the Sunni and the Shia ones. Thank you very much, Sheikh, for explaining Ma'sura and non-Ma'sura. These two concepts are really important. So we believe that Ziyarah Jama al-Kabira is a Ma'sura one, and safe and sound, transmitted by Imam to his companions till now that we read it.
How to talk.
How to talk, yes, that's right.
Thank
you much, Sheikh. It was very kind of you. We'll take a break, come back in a minute with the fourth question. Thank you much, dear viewers. We'll take a break, and then we'll continue our discussion on the text of the Ziyarah Jama al-Kabira. You are watching Friends of God in His Presence.
السلام عليكم يا أهل بيت النبوة وموضع الرسالة ومختلف الملائكة ومهبة الوحي ومعدن الرحمة وخزان العلم ومنتهى الهدى.
Welcome back, dear viewers. You are watching Friends of God in His Presence. I'm Atta, the host of this program. This program is about a commentary written on Ziyaratul Jamatul Kabira by Imam Hadi alayhi salam, based on a book written by Ayatollah Javadi Amoli, mainly known as فنای مقربان in Farsi language. With me in the studio, we have a very respected guest speaker, Dr. Sheikh Yahya Jahangiri. Welcome back again to the program. So some people might ask about the authenticity of these text of Ziyarah, and can we call it a hadith or not? I mean, at the first beginning, if this is a hadith and then it was read out as a text of Ziyarah for the people in order to be read out for the attributes of the Imams, how we can be sure about the authenticity of these type of texts?
Before explaining the authenticity of the Ziyarah Jama al-Kabira, actually, you know that what is revealed from Ahlul Bayt, including Prophet Muhammad and the infallible Imams and Hazrat Zahra salamullah alayha, as we call them, all Ma'sumin, we collected them in the term of the Sunnah. When we call Sunnah, it includes all of their sayings and actions. These are categorized regarding authenticity, evaluation, perspective. We categorize them whether it is sahih or muwathaq, hasan, mutawatir, khabar wahid. It is the actual level of evaluating and putting each one based on the authenticity in its own shelf. So regarding to the Jama Kabira, we see that how it is very authentic. Let me talk from two perspectives. One perspective is the discussing the authenticity of hadith from Dilali perspective. And the second is Sanadi perspective. In the Sanadi perspective, we discussed that how the chain of narration of the hadith was transmitted one by one till it reached the hand of today. And the books narrated the hadith, how the authors and the books were authentic.
So there is a document, and there are several transmitters during the history.
Very true.
We talked
very
about
true.
the authenticity.
So from Sanadi perspective, we evaluate the hadith from this perspective. But from Dilali perspective, we never go beyond the text. Actually, we look inside the text. In the Sanadi perspective, we look beyond the text, the context, whether it is narrated or not. But in Dilali perspective, we look into the hadith. We go inside and depth of the hadith. The meaning it has, whether the scholar who worked on the hadith studies paid more than 6 centuries on the teachings of Ahlul Bayt. He knows their languages. He knows their hermeneutic. He knows that whether its saying is produced by them or not, without looking to the chain of the narration. You see, when you are living with someone, you know his language, you know his teachings. So in Dilali perspective, you would see that if it has a very deep meaning, enlightening, the words are similar with the Imam, you would say that it is narrated by Imam. So
there must be an expert on the manuscripts and the text of the Islam, especially the text of the Ziyarah, in order to compare them with the maybe the other texts from the same Imam, isn't it?
Very true.
So
sometimes they are very expert then in a way that they can categorize that this hadith, maybe by the chain of the narration, it is related to the Imam as-Sadiq alayhi salam. But based on the Dilali and the text of the hadith, they would say that it seems that it is narrated from other Imam.
That's right.
They know this. So it is the Dilali discussion.
So what about this? What about this specific text of Ziyarah?
From Dilali perspective, the scholars like Ayatollah Javadi Amoli, they confirm that how this hadith has how this narration, how this Ziyarah has a highest level and deep meaning in a way that there is no doubt that it is narrated from Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam.
That's right.
Regarding to the chain of the narration, Brother Atta, it is very interesting that this Ziyarah is narrated in Shia books. And you know that the Shia book regarding to the authenticity is categorized in 2 groups. So just 4 of them are called as Kutub al-Arba'a. Kutub al-Arba'a, regarding to the authenticity, they have very high authenticity than the others. But these 4 are authored by the greatest scholars of the Shia. One of them is Al-Kafi, and the second is Al-Tahzib, and the others. When we look to the Ziyara Jama'a Kabira, we see that the book is narrated in At-Tahzib by the Sheikh Tusi. And the At-Tahzib of the Sheikh Tusi is one of the Kutub al-Arba'a, the book, the 4 book of the Shia. And the second is by the As-Saduq. And he was very, let's say, why these 4 books are very authentic? Because the authors were very cautious of narrating. And they had very restricted approach in narrating. That's why in his book of Man La Yahdhurul Faqih, he narrated as well. Also, because of the highest level of this Ziyarah and the authenticity of that, some of the greatest scholars started explaining, interpreting this Ziyarah. And last, we see that not only this great saying is narrated in Shia very authentic sources, but also some of the Sunni scholars like Hakim an-Nishaburi,
Yes.
he narrated in his in his works as well. You see that from Dalali perspective,
Yes.
Sanadi perspective, both Shia and Sunnis, when you look to this great saying of Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam, you will see that it is very authentic and it is very enlightening.
To an extent that some of the Muslim scholars, especially the Shia one, consider Ziyarat al-Jamaat al-Kabira on a par with Sahifat al-Sajjadiyya and Nahj al-Balagha. I mean, the very text is so eloquent and well written that when you read it out, you simply understand the main difference between the text of this ziyarah from the other ones. I mean, from the other ones which are not from the infallible imams.
Very wise comment,
yes,
brother Adar. Let me add a very short comment to your a very wise comment. And also it is compared as its level as the Dua Joshan al-Kabir.
That's right.
You know, Dua Joshan al-Kabir has a very highest level. In Dua Joshan Kabir, you are talking with the Allah the Almighty, but in Ziyara Ashura, you're addressing the Imams infallibles.
That's right. The case, you know, about Ziyaratul Jamatul Kabira, you know, is the title. I mean, let's talk a little bit about the title itself. Because we have so many Ziyara Jama'a. But why is it called Ziyaratul Jamatul Kabira? I mean, let's answer this question too.
Because from the length and the actually, it is the longest ziyara we have. That's why it is called Ziyara Jama Kabira. It is the longest ziyara we received from the Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam, very shortly.
And can this ziyara be read out in front of the tomb of any imam or no?
Very true. Very true. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it is. We can address any imam by this ziyara. It is not actually addressed to a certain imam.
That's all right. Thank you very much, Sheikh.
Thank you.
Dr. Jahangiri, it was very kind of you
My
for
pleasure.
your presence in the program. That's right. The title is really hard to say, but you know, Friends of God in His Presence. We have to get into the method of Ayatollah Javadi Amoli regarding compiling this book, because this book has been written in Persian language, you know, titled as Adab Fenay Mugharraban, but Ayatollah Javadi Amoli has his own specific look and perspective into writing a commentary.
And you know that, brother, Ayatollah Javadi Amoli, as he is not expert only in the realm of jurisprudence, he is expert in irfan, philosophy, interpretation of the Quran, look into ziyarah from very different angles, made this book very specific.
That's right, because we got so many analysis on the text of ziyarah which are based on the very text and wording itself, but as you said, this mystical, spiritual, you know, look philosophical look,
epistemological, let's talk it from different Islamic perspective. This interpretation actually made it very
great.
Specific.
Thank you very much, Sheikh.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Jahangiri, it was very kind of you. And thank you
pleasure.
very much, dear viewers, for watching Friends of God in His Presence. I'm Atta, the host of this program. Till another episode and continue our discussion on the commentary of Ziyarat al-Jamaat al-Kabira. God bless you all. Fi amanullah.
السلام عليكم يا أهل بيت النبوة وموضع الرسالة ومختلف الملائكة ومهبة الوحي ومعدن الرحمة وخزان العلم ومنتهى الهدى